The Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee, please. In attendance, myself as Chair, Vice Chair, Mr. Lagarde, and Dr. Trahan. Also, all board members are in attendance as well, Superintendent Ogeron and members of his staff. Consideration of approval for use of H.L. Bourgeois High School Auditorium, Mr. John McConnell. The committee recommends that the board approve the request of TCU Food Bank to waive policy file E 1.6, use of facilities relative to the usage fee, waive custodial costs and any other costs relative to the use of the facility for HLB High School Auditorium effective August 1, 2024 through August 4, 2024 for a fundraising event, provided all necessary insurance requirements are met, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Trahan, second Mr. Lagarde. Public comments? Mr. Connell? Mr. McConnell?
Well, what we're going to do, since I've come aboard the food bank about 2.5 years ago, Lawrence D. Hart, my boss, has taken advantage of my 40 years in theater to bring some different types of fundraisers to help the food bank. We started out with bringing in a jazz club, a jazz band from New Orleans for a brunch. That was really good. When did we do the play? The Glassman Dastity was the name of the play. This is an original play written by myself and my wife. It's called Who Dat's Talkin'. And it was written back around the time the Saints won the Super Bowl. And it's basically 5 monologues. The show's a little over an hour long, and it's just one monologue after another. The first character is Roger Goodell, which is me in a shark skin suit with a fedora, basically bitching because the NFL did not get able to score Who Dat. So, okay, well, we don't got Who Dat, but we're gonna have Chew Dat, Do Dat, 23 Skadoo Dat. That's the first one. The second one was my wife. By the way, she can't work with us. Our daughter needs a caregiver. She's recovering from aplastic anemia. But Stephanie Gomez, a very well-known actress around here, will be portraying the female role. That role is a nun and talks about all the saints and why the saints were named after the saints. The third one is called Missed It by That Much. And it's a fellow who has missed every great moment in the Saints. In other words, he and his dad were riding to the first Saints game and got a flat tire, and so they missed the kickoff that ran all the way back. They left the game right before Dempsey kicked the 62-yarder. And so he's there at the game when they're playing, and as soon as Lutz's foot touches the ball that kicks the field goal that puts him in the Super Bowl, he has a heart attack and dies. So he's telling all these stories from heaven and talking about what, he meets Cap Glaudy and Buddy D up there. The next one is one of these, a TSA lady, how they work, and has a stick and they're digging through your bag as you go through, and she's sitting there telling all the stories of things that she's had. And the last story she tells is how she gets into a big tugging match with this woman who absolutely will not give up her purse to be inspected. And when they yank it, it falls and busts open, and there's dust all over the place, and it's her mama's ashes, and she was bringing her to the last Saints game. So they're down there with a dust devil sucking. The last one, I don't know why I talked myself into doing this, but the last one is called Saintsation. And it's me just returning from a tryout for the Saintsations, except I'm in drag, and I got hoo-hoos about that big, with a big bouffant hairdo and a tutu and a shirt that says Saints, S-A-Y-S-H-U-N, and talks about the history of football, and her name is Ernestine, and but her friends call her Ernie, and she's from Tennessee, and she drives a Ford. So that's the show that would be put on. This show is not for kids. High schoolers, fine, but it's not dirty. It's just over their heads. But we'll put this show on 3 days. I need the first day, August the 1st, just to set up, see what we need to do. I've already made arrangements with Principal Moses to go check out the facility. I did fiddle on the roof there like 35 years ago, and I'm sure it's changed a little bit since then. But it's fine space. And so anyway, we'll need that first day just to do tech and set up. I have yet to speak to Principal Moses about this, but in talking to people about doing it, I offered to do a master's class if they have a theater club over there. So that'd be just a matter of me arranging when I can go in there during the day and teach a class. I mean, I have a master's degree in acting. I got 40 years of experience. I got a life-size bronze statue of me on Canal Street. I got the bona fides. Huh? I'll do it, you know. I taught on the college level. I've never taught high school. Oh, no, and believe me, it'll be my pleasure. I have a lot of information that I would love to have on to, yeah. Anyway, so that's my proposal, and thank you very much for your consideration.
Okay, hold up a second.
Gotta ask
Okay.
a question. What you want?
Dr. Trahan, you had anything? Mr. Legore?
No, what's that middle name?
Spud.
Spud.
Okay.
That's not my real middle name.
Oh,
That's my real middle name's Alexander. Yeah, you know. I got a lot of family history. If you go to Tulane Library, there's a whole section on the McConnells right over there. No, unfortunately. I mean, my ancestor helped Paul Tulane create Tulane University. Unfortunately, he did not put in there that any of his kin down the road gets in there for free, so I went to Nichols instead.
Mr. Boyson?
Yes, Ms. Benoit.
Yeah, this guy's famous. I don't know why I don't know him. I mean,
I used to be famous.
yeah,
I work at the food bank
I
now.
used to go to places in New Orleans for,
No,
that you were
well.
in. But anyway, I want to know, where do we purchase season tickets? Because I want
I don't
to
know about
do
a
that.
season, it's just it'll be on our Facebook page, and as soon as I make all the necessary arrangements with the principal, then we'll certainly let y'all know.
And we'll
Please
get it in
let
the
us know.
courier, too.
Yeah. Yeah, in the obit section.
Right, exactly.
No, I would, believe me, it's gonna be very easy to
good.
get
That's so
tickets.
good.
And, I mean, the only thing we're discussing right now is, I mean, the standard ticket price is $20. You go to La Petite, it's 20 or 25 bucks. That's what it is. We're gonna put a student price in there because, they need to learn things, but what the exact price is, I'm not sure. We actually have our regular Wednesday, fundraising meeting at the food bank tomorrow, every Wednesday. So we'll have that decision made. And then again, next week, I'll be speaking with the principal and walking through the place and meeting the janitors. And, there it is. That's what we're going to.
Another thing, may
Yes,
I
ma'am.
add, at these plays, there's usually refreshments. I'm thinking H.L. Bourgeois, their boosters or whatever can set up.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along those lines. I mean, we've done shows where, see, when we did this play, The Glass Mendacity, we charged people, we called it finger food theater, but we had a big array of it was like a wedding food, you know? Just go pick up stuff and go. But we charged for that. Well, some people didn't want the food. They just wanted to see the play. So now we're just doing the play. So if the booster clubs want to get a taco truck out front or something like that,
Yeah,
that's none of my
Great idea.
concern.
yeah, I
That's-
think they could really make some money doing that.
So, and I'll need a couple of student tech people to help me put the show on, because it's just me and the other actress. So I'll just need somebody to run the lights, and sound depends entirely upon what's the theater like when I get there.
Okay.
So,
Mr. DeHart?
Yes, sir. Well, sir, first time I get to see you. I heard about you, and now I see in reality.
yeah, it's spooky, huh?
But I'm happy that you part of the food bank. That helps out a lot of people in this parish. And right now, we work as a public body with the consolidated government, and we work together. And the food bank should not be separated from that, because I've seen so much, and even the food bank was at Grand Kai Middle giving commodities out without interfering of nothing going on at the school. And I'm just saying, that's a great thing, that it was very productive. So many people that needed the help since Hurricane Ida has been getting it from y'all, so I'm hoping this board unanimously supports.
Well,
this-
I'll tell
this
you one
idea.
other thing that y'all don't know about that we do. We partner with Terrebonne General.
Yes,
The Red Cross is sponsoring us while we do this. It's a pilot program for the whole country. What we do is when people leave the hospital, if they determine that they are food insecure or that something may cause them to come back because they don't have the right nutritional value, we don't deliver food, we distribute it. But for
Right.
these people, we do. And we
Yeah.
put together a package of whatever they need, and then we have a guy named Ray, and he brings it to them, and that's, so far it's looking good, so it looks like the Red Cross might pick that up all across the country.
Well, a couple of years ago, and this is it's gonna help, I'm talking about with the future of programs and stuff that y'all putting on. People gonna see that, and you can be the talk of the town on the positive end, okay? So what I'm saying, I
That's a
really.
change.
No, but, no, but what I'm getting at is that years ago, we had, whenever we first looked at Southdown Elementary School and the stadium, it needed a lot of fixing up. We got it fixed up. Greg was here, some of them were here. But anyhow, the school custodians and them sold the concessions and helped out the school financially, helped do things for the kids. So it's like we're working together, and I'm just saying, if the school decides to sell concessions, that's on them. And guess what? It can help out the school. So at the same time, we help in a good cause, and we also have opportunity for the school to get some help too.
Well, and that's the way we looked at it when we thought about what kind of venue are we gonna
Yes.
go to do this, and it's like, frankly, it behooves us to do it at a school like HL, because they have boosters.
Yes, sir.
They have parents who are affiliated, they have bands, they have theater, and so, it helps us because we almost have a built-in audience.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, I'm famous. I'm a classically trained actor who worked with people from the Royal Shakespeare Company, so, I mean,
Well, our meeting is televised, so guess what? We're good advertising for that right now.
where's it at? I'm not like robbing a McDonald's.
It's on the website.
Would you like to introduce,
Oh, yes,
Who's
well, I'm with the TCU Food Bank, I'm the Community Relations Director. Daisy Sheremy right there, also with the Food Bank, but she also runs the St. Francis Gardens, which is another nonprofit affiliated. And because of the efforts we've been able to do, we crank out, between 3,000 and 5,000 pounds of fresh produce every month that we distribute because of the gardens and their efforts. And then Peggy Bowers right there, she is the executive director of the Hands for Hope Foundation, which was something that was created to help the gardens, to help TCU. But also what we do is help like these very small nonprofits, there's just like maybe 10 people involved in it, and they don't necessarily have the wherewithal to go apply for grants and funding from the feds or things like that. So we go after that kind of money, and then we're able to help these little ones like keep their heads above water. So that's where we are with that. Those are the three that are all basically, a foundation can do things that just a regular nonprofit can't do. So in other words, like, you guys got a car you want to get rid of? Call Peggy. You got a building you want to get rid of? Call Peggy. So,
Thank y'all very much.
anyway, anything else?
Mr. Ford?
Yes, sir. Spud, it's great to finally meet you. I mean, I think I've seen you in person a few times, but never had dialogue with you. I have a lot of resources at HL Bourgeois. I'm part of the athletic boosters and the band boosters, the band. So I would love to help facilitate that. I know they have a lot of art students that would love to be involved and to do the behind-the-scenes stuff for free admission, maybe. So
There's
we could work
not a
some-
lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so I won't need a lot, but I will need some.
Yeah, and if you need anything while you're there at HL Bourgeois, my wife is the secretary there, so I do have, I can get you there. if you need.
We'll trade cards.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We're talking HL Bourgeois, but I think the other schools also have drama clubs
they
and
do.
stuff like that. I'm looking at the dates, though. It's just like we don't have enough time to get information out before the end of the school year, and we won't be in school by then. Maybe J. Call?
Well, we're gonna get on HTV about it.
Okay.
All right.
But I think if we can hit these students at the schools, you're going to get a lot more,
Yeah.
many more people. I know South Terrebonne has a huge drama club, and they always would put plays on every year, but we don't have the facility anymore.
Yeah.
But if these other high schools, I think, would show an interest if we can get it out to those schools somehow, if we can do a J-call or something. So, but it was
Well-
very entertaining, honored to have you.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Flattered that you guys remember me. I've been hiding.
I know you
Thank you,
have.
Mrs. Spud.
Y'all take care.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Oh, so, okay, so where am I now? So, I went to you guys already. Any objections, committee?
No.
Okay, hearing none, motion passes. Kind of get caught up sometimes, you forget where you. Number 3, this will be Ms. Walter. I think she's going to stay up for a little bit. Consideration of approval of bid received on meats and frozen items for the 24-25 school year. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meaning all specifications on meats and frozen items for the 24-25 school year from Pond Food Corporation, DBA Gold Star Foods, Inc., Ponchatoula, Louisiana, in the amount of $953,957.39. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program Fund. So moved, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Walter, anything
No
to?
comment, thank you.
No comment. Dr. Trahan?
No, sir.
Mr. Lagarde?
No, sir.
Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 4, consideration approval of bids received of canned and dry foods for the 24-25 school year. Committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bids received, meeting all specifications on canned and dry foods for the 24-25 school year from Pond Food Corporation, DBA Gold Star Foods, Inc., Ponchatoula, Louisiana, in the amount of $420,338.38, and Eastside Jersey Dairy Prairie Farms, Hammond, Louisiana, in the amount of $72,900. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program funds. So moved, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Walter, anything on that? No? Ms. Trahan? Mr. Lagarde? Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 5, consideration of approval of bid received on fruit juice for the 24-25 fall school session. Committee recommends the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications on fruit juice for the 24-25 fall school session from Lacassagne, okay. I think I had that word before. Inc., Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $146,906. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program funds. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Walter, anything on that? No. Dr. Trahan? Mr. Lagarde? Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 6, consideration of approval bid received on fresh fruits and vegetables for the 24-25 fall school session. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications on fresh fruits and vegetables for the 24-25 fall school session from Capital City Produce, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the amount of $90,000. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program Fund. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Walter? No? Okay. Dr. Trahan?
No, sir.
Mr. Lagarde? Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 7, consideration of approval of a proposal received from the concentrated detergents for 24-25 school year. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the proposal meeting all specifications for concentrated detergents for the 24-25 school year, with the option to extend the contract for an additional 3 years from Sanitech System, Lakeland, Florida, in the amount of $58,237. Funds to be derived from the Child Nutrition Program Fund. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Any public comments? Ms. Walter? Dr. Trahan? Mr. Lagarde? Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Ms. Walter? Okay, thank you, Ms. Walton. Number 8, consideration approval contract renewal for auxiliary services, Ms. Dugas. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the renewal of the contracts for kitchen equipment repair services, Section 1, and refrigeration repair services, Section 2, from the following vendors for a period of 12 months, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, upon mutual agreement of Terrebonne Parish School Board and the awarded vendor under the same terms and conditions. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Dugas, anything? Dr. Trahan? Mr. Lagarde? Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes.
calling in from out of town, Harahan.
Number 9, consideration of approval of bids received for maintenance supplies. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bids received meeting all specifications for the following maintenance supplies and equipment for the 24-25 school year, and allow the purchasing department to re-advertise those sections where no bid was received. So move, Dr. Tron. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Dugas? Dr. Tron? Mr. Lagarde? Other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 10, consideration of approval of contract renewal for grease trap and sewer sump station services. Say that 5 times fast.
No, it's
Let me try that again. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the renewal of the contract for grease trap and sewer sump station services for Benny Sewer Treatment Plant. I need to start drinking. Berg, Louisiana, for a period of 12 months, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, upon mutual agreement of Terrebonne Parish School Board and the awarded vendor under the same terms and conditions. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Dugas, I want you to say that 3 times fast. And then you can, no, just kidding.
I think you did a
can
great
do it.
job.
She could.
She can do
She's
it.
good. Yeah, I taught her. She's good. No, I don't think I did.
You're
I
my
just
assistant principal.
missed you, right?
Yeah.
Doggone
You're
it.
close.
Dr. Trump, Mr. Lagarde, and other board members. Any objections? Hearing the motion passes. Number 11, consideration of approval of contract renewal for kitchen hood and fire suppression system. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the renewal of the contract for kitchen hood and fire suppression system inspections and repair services from Safe Works Safety Solutions LLC, Houma, Louisiana, for a period of 12 months, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, upon mutual agreement of Terrebonne Parish School Board and awarded vendor under the same terms and conditions. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Dugas, almost forgot your name. Dr. Trahan, Mr. Lagarde, other board members, any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. One more. The consideration of approval of contract renewal for the fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance services. Committee recommends that the board approve and accept the renewal of the contract for fire extinguisher inspection and maintenance services from Safe Works Safety Solutions LLC, Houma, Louisiana, for a period of 12 months, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025, upon mutual agreement of Terrebonne Parish School Board and the awarded vendor under the same terms and conditions. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Dugas. Okay, Dr. Trahan. Mr. Lagarde. Okay, I was about to say, Matt, you don't have any questions for this lady? Okay,
Well,
Matt.
I was waiting for the last item because it's
All right.
the same thing that I wanted to ask for a while. So I know that these are renewals, but what happens if we as a board say, yes, we'll go ahead and renew it, and then you contact them and they say, you know what, we're really not equipped to do this anymore?
It's
So
just
you
me.
reach
I've
out
already
to
reached out
them
to them.
beforehand?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make
Yes.
sure, because I wouldn't want to have a time lapse where we were, we didn't have the
Yes.
services or whatever.
I send out renewal letters for contracts like this and check yes or no.
Good deal, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Dugas, you're on top of things. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, dear. Mr. Houston Learett. Wake up. He says, yes, consideration of approval of change order for building repair projects at Berg Elementary School. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept change order number 3 for the building repair project in response to Hurricane Ida at Berg Elementary School in the amount of $3,013 to replace damaged standing seam roof repair panels in 3 locations of classroom building 300, and to increase the contract time by 56 days from May 4th, 2024 to June 29, 2024. Funds to be derived from FEMA reimbursement funds, $2,711.70, and local funds, $301.30, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Trahan, second Mr. Legord, public comments. Mr. Lered, how are you, sir?
Good.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Can you elaborate on any of this, or
I don't think I need to. Anybody have any questions, I'll be welcome.
Dr. Trahan?
I'm just pleased it's only costing us $300.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking, too. Mr. Legard, anything? Any other board members?
I think Andy covered this last month. He told us about it.
Right.
It's coming up. Yeah.
Okay. Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Houston. Lered.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good
your
evening.
time back there. Number 14, consideration approval of notice to proceed for HVAC replacement at Coteau Bayou Blue Elementary. The committee recommends that the board issue a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Thompson, Luke, and Associates for plans and, wait,
Specifications.
okay, I had my little insert there. Specifications for, I can pronounce that word, thank you. For an HVAC replacement upgrade project at Coteau Bayou Blue Elementary School, establish a budget in the amount of $2 million. Funds to be derived from previously budgeted funds in the building fund, authorize the advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Trahan, second Mr. Legard, public comment. Mr. Poisson. $2 million.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We'll get new air conditions.
and that's what it costs. It's a lot of money. Okay. Well, okay. All right, Dr. Trahan.
We need AC?
Yes, we
That's
do.
for sure in this heat.
It's cold in here
It's
right
coming.
now, though. My nose is leaking.
You can keep that thermostat.
I know, but it says don't touch. The superintendent will kick your butt, it says.
Oh, and that means you.
That's right. Mr. Legard? Mr. Crowder, you had something?
So the $2 million, so to me, I would think at that price, like, we're gutting the whole thing. We've got-
Yes, we are. We have chillers in there now. We're going back with split systems in those, like we installed at Large. We did it in all the other schools. We're just trying to get away from those chiller systems to where the chiller goes down, your whole school's down. With these systems, you'll lose a room, and you can handle it. You can move or whatever. They're better systems. There's like 10-year warranties on them. We're very pleased with what's happening right now with what we have already in.
So it's just Coteau Bayou Blue. The other schools, AC systems that are there now, they're all good and functional. And
Well, we're kind of grading them out, so to speak, of the worst. We're starting at the worst ones and going. We had a lot of bad ones. We did get to replace a lot since the storm. And I mean, in the future, we're looking at the next ones that are in line for it. I mean, we have, with the chiller system that we have over there right now, the piping is real bad. At any minute, this piping could give way, and we got a flooded school. So we're trying to keep ahead of that. It needs to be replaced.
so because there's no FEMA money here, then I'm assuming this is just regular upkeep
Building
and
fund.
maintenance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. Ford?
So you answered my first question, which was this on the prioritized list that we went with when we did the ESSER funds and we divvied that out? I guess we ran out before we could get to Coteau, but
That's exactly what
my next follow-up question is, can we get started right away? Or is there gonna be a time delay?
We have to, we're just doing the notice to proceed to the engineer, and he's gonna go in and draw up the specs, and we're gonna get moving on it. We've already replaced the units in the cafeteria and the kitchen over there, so we're that much ahead of the game, because they were out also.
So do we have a timeline as the follow-up for that?
I don't know what it'll be. By the time they get all their bids in, it's gotta go, it's gonna come before y'all again. there'll be times where they can probably work in it after hours or weekends, whatever they decide to do.
So we're likely gonna have to work around the, occupation of the school, the kids in there and
Yeah, and we basically did that also at Dularge.
Terrebonne,
Yeah,
During the summer too.
they'll go in and do what they have to do. We keep the chiller running part by part, and
yeah.
it'll be on while all the work's being done.
Okay. Thank you.
Just wanna make one
Yes, sir.
comment if everybody-
Mr. Ogeron?
Yeah, just real quick, just to remind, we, with ESSER funds, we were able to do Oaklawn, HLB, Broadmoor, Dularge, Legion, Mulberry, some Lisa Park, and now Koto, like you said before, didn't make the timeline or the money. It went a little higher than we thought, but 2 million is about what we paid for schools of comparable size. So, so that's what it costs, as much as that is.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Ogeron, for that information. Any other board members? Yes, Dr. Clocher?
With the summer coming up, it wouldn't be possible to finish this project before school starts again?
No, sir. There's not enough time. By the time we get the bids in and everything, and it comes back to the board, and they can get started on it
So
if
you're
it makes it,
figuring
but
120 days or 4 months, 5 months,
it,
in that range?
it takes time. It
I
may
mean,
take more than that, yeah. I mean,
More
it's,
than that, do you think? So it-
if they start working it during the summer and they can get some stuff in, they have to work. At some point, they'll get to where they have to have the kids out the way to work.
Right,
They'll do it on holidays, like I said, or
Right.
after hours, just like they did, like I'm saying, it happened at Dularge.
okay.
It went smooth
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I was just, it'd be nice if that was, to start the school year, be able to go in and not have to deal with all that, but I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Any other board member? Any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 15, consideration of approval of notice to proceed for the construction parent drop-off driveway at Koto Bayou Blue. The committee recommends that the board issue a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Jeremy and Bruce Architects for plans and specifications for the construction of a parent drop-off driveway at Koto Bayou Blue Elementary School. Establish a budget in the amount of $561,495. Funds to be derived from previously budgeted funds in the building fund. Authorize the advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Traha, second Mr. Lagarde. Public comments? Mr. Poisson?
Well, as we all know, that's an ongoing problem at Koto, as we had at many schools. This is going to alleviate a lot of that problem. We'll have a drive coming in off of Country Estates, coming onto the yard and dropping the kids off and exiting back onto Country Estates. And it'll probably save a lot of arguing in the mornings there between the parents.
Probably needed for a long time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one of the most dangerous drop-offs we have, because if you don't mind me saying,
Yeah.
they're lined up literally half on the road and half on the shoulder, because there's no shoulder, waiting to come into our property. So this will, Daniel kind of configured it, so they come in on the rear of the property and have double stacked space, so you can stack, Daniel, I think 60, 70 cars. So we'll get most, if not all of it, off of that highway.
How did we let it go so long, though? I
And
mean, it's
It's
just
just been
something.
fortunate, nothing
Yeah.
happened,
It is amazing. Yep. Dr. Trahan, you had anything? Mr. Lagarde? Okay. Mr. Crowdis?
Is there a timeline on the driveway?
The preliminary is done, I mean, in the next probably 2 to 3 months, we can have it out to bid.
Okay. 2 to 3 months out to bid?
We still have to do drainage engineering,
Okay.
make sure the water goes where it needs to go, things like that.
So this project will be in progress during school along with the AC stuff. But this shouldn't, if it's gonna be back behind the school, that shouldn't be too much of an issue either, right?
They'll have to make some adjustments on the way they currently probably drop kids off, because we're gonna be interfering with the existing drop-off space. Which we didn't get into that, but that'll be the school that makes adjustments.
Mr. Dehart?
Well, I know down the road, we've got some other schools that's gonna need that attention, and one that I've noticed lately, it keeps getting worse and worse is Evergreen. Same thing about the traffic and them pulling over halfway on the shoulder, and some of them are off on the shoulder, but a lot of them is, is still out there.
so
and-
dangerous.
And really and truly, with that street straight across from Evergreen, I'm just saying, that adds traffic coming in and out, and I'm just saying, students walking across, I'm just saying, that's just another accident waiting to happen
Yes, sir.
somewhere. And like I say, we got multiple places, because a lot of parents work and they're dropping off children back and forth. Sir?
Right here at Homer Junior
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Terrebonne should help with the redesign of Terrebonne. We'll have some
Oh, yeah. But,
planned
and
drop-off there.
I'm not trying to put Evergreen first, I'm just saying Evergreen right now has property on the side where some similar thing we did, like we did at Marbury, and we're gonna be doing at Cotobai Blue. That's just my opinion. It's just that for the safety of our students and parents that's, going there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 16, there was a handout put out. I don't know if everybody received it. It's a little change on number 16. Consideration of approval of a notice to proceed with the interior-exterior painting project at Legion Park Elementary. The committee recommends that the board issue a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Orchestrate LLC for plans and specifications for the interior-exterior painting project at Legion Park Elementary School. Establish a, I'm reading from the wrong one, but it's so far so good, huh? You saw that, huh? Budget in the amount of $250,000, funds to be derived from previously budgeted funds in the building fund, and the exterior, this is the new part, added part, I believe, and for the exterior painting project at the IT Annex building, establish a budget in the amount of $100,000, funds to be derived from the building fund, authorize the advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Trahan, second Mr. Lagarde, public comments. Mr. Poisson?
No, we just need to roll with that.
Okay. Dr. Trahan? Mr. Lagarde? Mr. Ford, you're looking at me.
I just
You had that look.
relax khaki and quiver tan. Oh, I love those names. That's interesting.
So do I.
Yeah. Look, this school has looked the same since I was 4 years old. It's about time they get some sprucing up. So
Yes,
I'm
sir. Thank you,
pleased.
sir.
Yeah. Thank
The-
you.
I mean, I don't want to make it, but the
No, go ahead,
quiver
Mr. Oshie.
tan is gonna be, every trim from the cafeteria to the far end of the school, we're gonna go with that color. It's gonna make it really uniform, and it's gonna blend so well with the window storefront that Shelley put on that building. It's looking real good. And it actually matches the interior floor. That's the interior, the brand new floor we put has these same colors in them, so it's gonna really make it come together and match that decorative brick that's, on both sides of the front entrance. It's really gonna tie it together.
Gonna look nice. Anyone else? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Number 17, consideration of approval of substantial completion of the window and HVAC replacement project at Legion Park Elementary. It's Ms. Shelley, Olivier. Thank you, Mr. Poisson, which don't go
Thank you.
far, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. The committee recommends that the board approve the substantial completion dated April 12, 2024 for the window and HVAC replacement project at Legion Park Elementary School and ratify change order number 5 for electrical rerouting of main HVAC panel and additional 4-inch vinyl base for cafeteria walls in the amount of $1,447.38. Funds to be derived from American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, ESSER 3. Subject to the punch list, upon completion of the punch list and final inspection, balancing change order and receipt of the lien-free certificate, authorize the release of retainage, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move Dr. Trahan, second Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Ms. Shelley, how are you?
I'm great.
Good, good. It's looking good, huh?
I'm glad to get a lot of these things finished.
Yes.
It's a major accomplishment.
Absolutely.
We did our final walkthrough last week. We do have quite a bit of punch list items, but nothing major. Everybody seems to be comfortable. AC's working good. Fire marshal inspection went great. No deficiencies. All we gotta do is wrap it up, wrap the punch list up, and
Good job.
move on to the painting and upgrade every component in that building.
That's gonna be- Did you like them?
I gave him,
Well,
I
she
gave
did.
options. And we went out there, we went on site and kind of held it up and, you know, and I kind of did a rendering of it for the staff so they can kind of get an idea. Or you're looking at it. You have it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I love it, Shelley. And I love it much better than the school colors.
Good. If only I could do something with the interior hallway, concrete block. Do you
That
have
looks
the
great.
glazed block on the inside and the halls? We could talk about that another day.
Any other questions? Any board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Positary. Consideration of approval of change order for building repair project at Mulberry Elementary. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept change order number 7 for the building repair project in response to Hurricane Ida at Mulberry Elementary School in the amount of $9,841. Demolition of 2 roof wall exhaust fans from old kitchen. Funds to be derived from local funds, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move, Dr. Tron. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Mr. Positary.
I guess just a couple of quick comments about it. So this change order, as it indicates, is for 2 fans that served the old kitchen in the original school. And since that old kitchen is no longer functioning, we would highly recommend that we take this opportunity to take those fans off. That reduces the chance of leaks in the new building by 2, right? Less holes in that new roof. So it's not indicated as being FEMA reimbursement right now, although I would, Adam, you're highly capable FEMA manager, and I have discussed the possibility of trying to get this covered as a mitigation effort. However, right now, I don't anticipate that happening. I would still recommend, though, just from a common sense standpoint, that we take 2 sources of leaks out of that new roof. So that's really what
Absolutely. Very
the
good.
change is about.
Dr. Tron. Mr. Lagarde. Any other board members? Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Oh, you're on the next one too, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 19, consideration approval of substantial completion of the building repair project at H.L. Bourgeois. The committee recommends that the board approve the substantial completion dated May 1, 2024 for the building repair project at H.L. Bourgeois, subject to the punch list. Upon completion of the punch list and final inspection, balancing change order and receipt of the lien-free certificate, authorize the release of retainage, and further authorize the board president to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. So move, Dr. Trahan. Second, Mr. Lagarde. Public comments. Mr. Positary again.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, on May 1st, as the motion indicates, we conducted a substantial completion inspection at H.L. Bourgeois. The contractor throughout this whole project has done an excellent job of getting the work done promptly and of a quality level that we really appreciate. So we did generate a few little punch list items. Probably about 3/4 of those are already complete as of today. So they're continuing to push. The biggest thing that is still on the punch list is, if you recall, I think last month or 2 months ago, the board approved a change order to replace the lighting in the auditorium. They've already ordered those materials, and that's still on the punch list. That'll be completed probably mid-July, early July, mid-July. And so that's really the biggest item that's still on that punch list right now.
So
But all of the other
lights-
things are minor exterior-related items. All of the interior stuff is complete, so.
So the lights will be ready for that play, August 1st, right?
Yeah, well, as that came up, I talked to Gary and said, we better email the contractor and make sure they will be.
yeah.
But,
Fantastic.
yeah, they're expecting to be complete early July, I believe.
Good. Dr. Trahan? I don't know if I went to you guys yet, Mr. Lagarde. Any other board members? Any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
you.
all your hard work. Number 20, matter bearing upon update on Hurricane Ida, Mr. Gary Beard.
Good evening.
Sir.
As Mr. Positeri just informed you all about HLB, the contractor's been doing a very, very good job coordinating with the principal. Any issues they've been jumping on. They've been a very good contractor for the school board, and I would highly recommend group construction again if y'all have the chance to work with them again, because they did an outstanding job. The spectator gym at South Terrebonne High School, we conducted the state fire marshal inspection last week. We got a certificate of occupancy for that facility. The contractor also went through the substantial completion process. They have been steadily working on the punch list items, so that one will be ready to be, turned over to where the school can actually use it for functions, things like that, very soon. The main facility, the roof is still ongoing to be removed and replaced. They are approximately 50% complete with the demo of the main facility roof, and there's 50% is also waterproof. So there should be more water coming in through those sections, which should help eliminate a lot of the water damage that we've been seeing. They've been continuing on with the abatement process. They've started in the auditorium this week with removing of the curtains. They've started tearing out the front of the stage so they can get underneath there to clean out some asbestos tile that they knew about, and it's covered in the contract. They have also finished the choir building with the demo of that on the inside. The roofing started on that this week as well. So as of today, they were putting the metal panels back on and the dense glass. So again, this one is progressing very nicely. So.
Good.
Any-
Good. Dr. Drum?
I appreciate that report on South Terrebonne. Thank you.
Mr. LaGarde? Any other board members? Great. So we're on schedule.
Currently,
Everything
we're
is
on
good.
schedule, pending any crazy,
Right. I
craziness.
think we talked about that coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
It all depends upon what's discovered when they start demoing some of these areas that they couldn't get into.
Right. And as far as the auditorium, there's nothing salvageable in there. I mean, because we had just spent, what, $500,000
The seating, the seats in there are salvageable because they're
Fantastic.
plastic. They'll be cleaned, ready to go. The ceiling in there is going to be replaced. The sound deadening panels, they're talking about taking those down, cleaning them, and replacing and putting them back up so that we won't have to purchase new sound panels. The flooring, of course, it's got to be redone on the stage because that was destroyed. The lighting package for the auditorium, there is an allowance in there, so we'll see if that can come in on that allowance, or we may have to come back and say we need a little bit more money. But we won't know until we actually get in and start taking a look and getting into that. So.
The stage, it's all coming down? The stage?
No, it's the front portion of the stage was built out a few years ago. So that's what's being taken out so they can get and clean out and get all the asbestos tile out that's underneath there. And then we're in discussions to see whether or not they want to build it back or not. But the remaining of the stage flooring is to be removed.
All right. Mr. Ford?
So I'm curious to know who makes that decision if they build it out or not. I think it should. I think the more area you have for performance for the stage is better. So who makes that decision? Is it us or is it?
The principal.
I'm gonna say the school and the drama department, the drama teacher,
It's nice to have.
I've seen both, where I think you call it an apron maybe or something, whatever. It's beneficial and not, so I think it's a preference. A lot of people come a little further out, but you lose some of the rawness of the performance stage, the width, it's not always the best for certain plays and things. So I don't know, so I think we have to confer a lot, well, we take input. I was saying the same thing when you said it, so
Yeah, because honestly, I like the idea of the community's input at the very least, because that's the ones that's gonna be going there, you know, their kids will be going there. I like to stay away from a principal making those type of decisions because they could be gone in a week, you know, they could be gone in a year. So I would much rather the South Terrebonne community
But it's, I'm sorry.
make that decision, you know, like,
But it seems as though it'd be more of the people who are reviewing, you know, so I get what you're saying, but for this one, I would refer to the performers or the performance features, you know. But we have to have some discussion on that, that is a good point.
I know it was nice to have when I was principal, and I think the other two principals can agree, an assistant. You know, you can walk out there, it's almost like being, you know, in the front row. So it was really nice, you know, so I don't know if they.
It adds
you know, who's
another
gonna make that
12
fun.
foot
It does.
to the front of the stage.
Extends it, you know,
It extends it out 12 feet.
so, good. All right, thank you, appreciate it. 21, matter bearing upon update Hurricane Ida and ESSA construction projects. There are any other architects or engineers that would want to come up? Sure. Anything?
Yeah.
Go- Okay, just seeing if you wanted to come up next. And then we got, yeah, come on up.
Take one down and pass
No,
it down. That sounds like
Oh,
a
yeah,
game.
that was 2 weeks, well, last week.
And
We can have it
while
when we went.
they're passing that around, I'd like to share this nugget of information with you, which is worth celebrating. So 2 years, 8 months post-storm, right, I think is where we're at. All of Orchestrate's Hurricane Ida recovery projects are officially complete. This concludes repairs to East Homa School, Legion Park Elementary, Coteau Bayou Blue, Village East, Dulorge Elementary, Acadian Elementary, Maintenance and Transportation Buildings, the Annex IT Building, the School Board Central Office, demolition of 2 8-classroom modular buildings, and the demolition of 13 portable buildings. Just hit you know, that's a pretty big milestone, and I just felt like,
Yes.
I just feel relieved. Thank you. It's been a long road, but we're here, and we're getting there.
Yeah,
Still a lot to do, though, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so take it easy on me, Miss Benoit, with the colors, okay? This is for you. Okay, when the board approved the schematic design, there were some reviews regarding using color on the exterior elevations. We made some minor changes that I'd like to share with you. On the front elevation, we removed the gold color. I think the gold was throwing y'all off a little bit, okay? And we minimized the blue. We kept the blue ceramic-coated glass at the main lobby and at the gym lobby to apply hierarchy to these 2 main entrances. We also kept the blue materials at the library's exterior to help balance out the blue on both sides of this elevation and to sustain a sense of school identity. We removed all color on the rear courtyard elevation, that's the second image, and we are now studying a variety of gray color tones.
Very nice.
Just wanted to give you that. I wanted to acknowledge the comments from that
It's
meeting.
really neat that you're gonna try and match the South Terrebonne brick, right?
Yes,
But
I like
the 2 bricks are gonna be very similar.
I think it would be important to do that
Yeah.
since they're on the same campus
Yeah.
essentially.
I totally agree that you have to see some kind of synergy between the 2.
Yes, I have like 10 bricks at my office that eventually we'll all take a look at and, you know, get together, so.
Looks good.
someone hold their picture up via the camera so they can see it.
So when are we expecting to get started?
Okay, that's
Did-
a big
did we
question
have-
of the hour.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we are moving full speed in-house between us and our engineers. We have released all information to our engineers. We're in the design development phase. And, you know, we're pushing to have our construction documents ready for bid, probably, you know, late August, but however, or September. However, and Adam could probably give you more answers on this later on, but FEMA is going to more than likely request an environmental study and an archaeologist study. Let's make sure we're not building, on dinosaur bones, that kind of thing. So, there is potential that will slow us down because they're not going to guarantee the money without these reports right in hand. Without releasing too much information, I think all I've gathered from the meeting with Ms. Bro and with Adam is if the school board chooses to pay for the report, pay for those services, and then later get reimbursed for it by FEMA, then that would probably expedite the process. If we sit back and wait for FEMA to do it, then that would probably take longer. But we're not there yet. Adam is still, coordinating with FEMA. So
What kind of funds are we talking about to pay it up front?
that is
I have no clue. Okay.
no clue. I mean, I think for a geotech report, it was about 25,000 where they go and they drill, 40-foot deep borings or whatever to analyze the soil. So I can only imagine it would be somewhere within that.
Yeah.
Grand Calumet did have some FEMA. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
you have to do that one.
Yeah, we can get the process started, yeah.
What's entailed in the archaeology study?
That is new territory for me. I am very interested in learning more about it, and I'm waiting for it. So FEMA will provide us a list of consultants, which then I will contact and get multiple quotes from if this is how we have to proceed. And then I will be able to tell you much more next go around.
Do you have anything to add, Adam?
I think we were talking out of
Oh, good. So the environmental assessment is to make sure that the property that's being used is not in a wetland, but or any other type of special area, which we know it's in the flood zone. So then there are special steps you have to go after that. Make sure you have community output. You're showing, because we're moving Lacache to further up, the bayou is kind of the part of the assessment of mitigating future risk. It's kind of what FEMA's looking at. The archaeological study is more to make sure that there is no burial grounds or anything like that because it's undisturbed ground. Nothing has been touched before. That is more people who are archaeologists look at the history of the area and what has previously been there throughout the years. And if they think that something could be there, then it may have to go do a few diggings. And if not, it'll just say, if construction starts and you find something, you have to halt construction, call someone out, and then they take it from there. It's kind of just that main thing, but for them to get a better idea of that. We just got word, we were waiting to hear back from if that would be required. And we heard back, I think, last week that it would be required
So it's
to move
more
forward.
of a historical archaeology.
Yes.
It's basically a historical study of people who inhabited that particular
Area.
zone
Mhm.
to be sure that, like you said, it's not a burial ground or
Yeah,
whatever.
or you're not putting anything that is like especially tribal lands down here, make sure you're not disturbing anything like that that could be sacred to that community.
Yes. And of course, by moving the one school further up the bayou,
Mhm.
we should be making the environmental impact better.
We are, and it's just, that's kind of our reasoning to moving it up, but because it's still fresh land that has been developed on, we still have to do it on that property, because we've kind of already started the process on the property down the bayou, but now because we're moving it, it has to be done there also.
Thank you.
Dr. Trahan?
The thing we have to remember in my mind that we have two schools in modulus, and we have a very strong hurricane season being predicted ahead of us this year. So I think the faster we can move on this, the better off our students will be. Because if we get hit hard and the modulus get damaged, where do we go from there with our students?
Yep.
I don't know, I don't think we have anywhere to go anymore with our students. We're out of places and buildings to move them to.
That's not
So
gonna
we
happen.
just gotta remember, there are two schools in modulars in
There's
South
three.
Terrebonne parking.
Well,
There's
there's-
3 schools in modulars at South Terrebonne parking lots.
You're done. Ms. Benoit?
Yeah, thank you. So 2 questions. Is this environmental study, is this like a brownfield study? Is it the same thing?
It's more of like an environmental assessment of reaching out, saying this is the footprint of the area, you reaching out to Department DEQ, the Corps of Engineers, all the tribal nations, making sure that they do not have any adverse reasons why you should not build there is the environmental assessment. It's more of just a process of letting the people who could be stakeholders aware that there's development and making sure that they do not have any claims or anything that they want to bring up that they think it can have adverse effect on something that they're related to. Like you floodplain, making sure that you building something, they're gonna give you requirements, making sure that you don't have adverse effects on your neighbors. If you're swamplands, if you're mitigating, if you're going around swamplands, that you have to make up for whatever you're pushing through. So it's just reaching out to communities and stakeholders that could be important to development in Terrebonne Parish in general, that they do not have any adverse effects.
Now, I've been involved in some of that in my work at Nichols, and but my understanding always was that there was some existing something there, and that's what historically, and that's what demanded all these surveys. So, but from what you're saying, it sounds like this is a standard way to proceed with FEMA, like they want all of these
Yep.
studies
The
regardless.
106, which is the archaeological study, is the one that's not normally occurred. It's environmental assessment, which is just mainly this happens on a lot of federal grants, even if it's existing, just pushing the footprint back or expanding. It's to make sure that no one has, because you have sewer treatment right there, making out DEQ, you have floodways, levees, things that could have an effect of building that could affect anyone else. So it's just making sure that they're okay with it, sending them the plans, which we do need the plans from Shelley, so that's why she needs to work on it, because that all needs to be presented to FEMA and to those people to let them know what is actually being built.
It's government bureaucracy
Mhm.
that stops the wheels of progress, basically, is what it is.
Mr. Ford?
My question is probably more for Bubba than anything. Do we own the mineral rights to that property? We should, right? If we own that property outright. So I'm just wondering if there's any, because we are in South Louisiana, and this just conjures up images of, the Beverly Hillbillies. What happens if they strike oil type thing?
That would be
Yeah.
nice.
Real nice. That's what I'm saying.
That
Maybe they'll
property
find
right
out.
there.
Y'all live a quarter mile up the road.
That
you know?
right up there.
Maybe that's a plus.
Yeah, I just wanted to see, I would assume that had been done previously, historically, you would want to check that property, I'm sure, anything that we own, but maybe get them to dig a little deep just in case. Do a seismic study and see if we, yeah, we could pay for that school and many others.
Mr. DeHart?
I understood what you was explaining for many years, whenever you go to different schools over the years. It always had hurdles to get over if you have FEMA help. So what you're saying about this FEMA help, still can't, I'm just saying, you don't have the funding to build a school. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shelley or any architect. Anytime you get over the hurdle, then you start the process of, drawing the plans and advertising and all, and construction, you're looking at, 2 years, that's been on average, I might be wrong, but I think that's been on average of 2 years to build a school. So regardless of what the circumstance is, you gotta get over the hurdle. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. Yeah, and we were aware that this was coming, so we started this process earlier. Normally they wait until a project is obligated and all react before it was obligated to make sure that we can get it going. So by the time it is obligated, we have this well underway to save us a few months.
I know how they're doing tomorrow, guess what? It's hurricane season, said, I know it's gonna be an active one, guess what? They can just throw
Thank you, Adam, appreciate it. Ms. Shelley, anything else? Fantastic. The school looks beautiful,
It's very beautiful.
very nice.
Is it easier to digest this way? Okay.
All right, thank you,
Very
too.
nice.
No. Yeah, we got them coming.
Just a quick update. It took a little bit longer than what we'd hoped because of inclement weather, but surveying's finally done on Ellender. We're meeting tomorrow with a couple of our consultants to look at how we finalize what we're demoing on the school itself. Once we have that information determined, we hope to be able to have the package out in a couple of weeks for bidding, so we can start tearing down the school as quickly as possible. In the interim, we have actually toured 2 different facilities, one in Ascension Parish and one in East Baton Rouge, West Baton Rouge. And the new high schools we've looked at are absolutely amazing. We've seen Bruley High as well as Prairie View High, which the difference in schools is unbelievable. One was 78,000 square feet, one was 340,000 square feet. It was almost a small junior college, but we've got some really good input and some good information. We've started programming what the new school will look like. We're looking at ways to consolidate space and potentially add future development to the school that for programs that don't currently exist based on square footage within the school. So it's still in the early stages, but we are getting there and we are making progress.
Anything?
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Mr. LaGuardia? Any other board members? So it's going to be a state-of-the-art school.
Yes.
This is going to be like no other.
How long since we built a high school? I mean, other than that.
It's been over 50 years.
50 years.
Wow.
It's
Mhm.
gonna be, nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
We got it. I assure you.
Fantastic. Anything else? Anyone else? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Any other architects or engineers or anybody? It's not that late, is it? Mr. Poisson? We're almost done.
Were they through?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna make this real quick. We had 359 work orders created last month. We completed 220, and
So why
that's
you didn't
about it
finish
for
them
tonight.
all? Why didn't
I
you
could have
finish them all?
drug it on, but we're not.
All right, thank you, Mr. Poisson.
right.
Thank you all for staying so late, appreciate it. The entertainment has left. With no further business, the BFT is adjourned. Have a good night. Be careful going home.